You're watching HFO-TV.
Hi, welcome back to HFO-TV. This is Greg Frick, partner at HFO Investment Real Estate. Today we have Matthew Robinson, Policy Assistant with the Mayor of the City of Portland. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things you've heard in the news about the Airbnb regulations and how that affects multifamily apartment owners. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You know, we've heard about it. We've seen some things. I know the mayor's proposed some regulations regarding that. Maybe you can give a little background on kind of where we are in that process.
Absolutely. This past summer, the mayor and city council, they adopted the regulations for single family.
Right.
But at that time, both what we heard from stakeholders as well as some residents and some neighbors led us to realize that there were other issues, additional issues that needed additional time to be discussed. So the mayor asked our office, as well as some of the other commissioners' offices, to meet with stakeholders, meet with the bureaus, and meet with other stakeholders who were interested in the process to vet out some of these additional issues. And we now feel comfortable with the package that we're going to be bringing forward.
And what's the timing on bringing this package? I mean, is it coming out now? What's kind of give me some background on that?
It's actually posted on our website currently, so you're able to go and take a look at the proposed recommendation that the mayor has brought forward. And the council hearing is going to be November 19th, where council is going to have an opportunity to review the package, hear testimony, and then potentially vote. And was from what you heard, the stakeholders had some comments. Was there comments of, hey, this is only addressing the single family? We have other issues on the multifamily side that need to be addressed, or condo towers or things like that? Yes, and there were several other issues that tied into multifamily around affordability, around notice to neighbors, around safety, around the engagement with property owners and property managers. So we didn't have an opportunity to fully vet those during the single family portion. Now we've had a chance to do that. Got you. Okay. And then what's, you know, I know some of the questions. So, like, can an apartment owner take a block of his units and say, I want to, you know, make those short-term Airbnb rentals, or kind of where did that kind of fall in with the mayor's proposal? I know they can't. We realize that in Portland, it's an already very tight housing market. Right. So one of the things we wanted to ensure was that any short-term rental use was going to be accessory to a residential use. So one of the requirements that we've written into both the single family as well as the multi-dwelling requirements is that it has to be a residential use. So the primary use has to be a residential use. Someone essentially has to live there. And is there a big difference between maybe you can give a little definition on the difference between the single family and the multi-family, some of the regulations, or of the proposal? Absolutely. One of the main differences is around a cap. We don't have a proposed cap in terms of single family units because obviously there's just the 1 or 2 bedrooms that you'll be able to do. In a multi-dwelling building, however, we're going to have a cap. We're going to propose a cap where only 10% of the units, or up to 10% of the units, can have a short-term rental use. So that's one example of the differences that we found and something that we implemented with the multi-dwelling that we didn't with the single family. Is there regulation for if the tenant wants to go that direction? I mean, where does that fall in line? It's, you know, it's not single family. It's not the owner of the apartment doing it. It's they find out a tenant has been posting their building on Airbnb. I mean, where does the city fall on that? Well, we've made absolutely clear in our regulations and what we're going to be proposing that what we enact does not supersede any external agreements that you have, whether it's your homeowners association agreement or if it's your lease. If it's prohibited there, it's prohibited. Additionally, in order to get a permit, you have to get authorization from either the building owner or the property manager, and we're going to be requiring a notarized signature as part of the application process for that to happen. If building owners or property managers don't want the use in their buildings, it won't happen. Okay, so the tenant's going to have to be required to get an approval from the owner or the property manager before they can go to that process of... Absolutely. Get you. Okay. And then what about the income for tax purposes from an ownership standpoint? If they, is it something that's self-reporting? How does that going to work? It is going to be self-reported, and the operator, so the resident, is the one that will have to go into our revenue bureau and report their income and pay the accompanying transient lodging taxes that come with that. Okay, interesting. And what kind of feedback did you get when this kind of came out? And is it overwhelming? This is great. We need to move in this direction, or what? What's kind of your, I guess, prediction for what you're going to see here in a couple weeks at the hearing? We've had a lot of questions. People have wanted to get an opportunity to take a look at the proposed recommendations first and see if the concern that they brought was addressed, whether that's around some of the things I touched on earlier, whether it's around notice, whether it's around safety. So they wanted an opportunity to just see the regulations and understand exactly whether or not their particular concern was addressed. So most of the feedback we've been getting back so far has been seeking information as opposed to support or opposition. And do you have any idea how many units, are
part of Airbnb within the city of Portland on an annual basis, or I don't know if they count daily basis? Do we know how many? I mean, how many are we talking? Is it 3,000, 5,000?
Well, we've heard estimates around 1,500, 1,600.
Okay.
And that's not simply Airbnb. Airbnb is one of the platforms that are available, but there are obviously multiple platforms people can use. But we've heard estimates around 1,500 or 1,600.
And is there a length of time when it becomes not a short-term rental versus a long-term rental? Is it once it's beyond 30 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
anything beyond 30 days is considered a longer-term rental,
right?
And that's permitted.
Okay, so that's in a totally different.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and then and when is the hearing? Is it?
It's November 19th, and it's going to be, I believe, at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And it's going to be at City Hall in Council Chambers, and it's going to be an opportunity for anyone who would like to come in and testify. They'll get an opportunity to do so before council.
And you can go to the website you see on the bottom of the screen to get more information. The proposals there, and also have the time and date. So again, if you want to voice your opinion on this topic, please let Matthew know, or go to the hearing, and we can go from there.
Absolutely.
Thanks again for coming. This is going to be an interesting topic here in the next couple of years. You hear more. I mean, we've heard a lot about it. We've heard a lot of owners talk about it. We've heard tenants talk about it. And how it's interesting that this may be one of the topics where they're both on the same page, in regards to allowing that use or not allowing that use for their neighbors. So
absolutely, and the mayor views his role in this and the role of the city in this. This is just one portion of what we view as the sharing economy, the opportunity economy, and we view our role as a city as allowing that innovation to take place, obviously within a regulated framework. So we are trying to be as permissive as we can be in terms of allowing that innovation to take place without stifling it, but still putting up some of the safeguards and recognizing the concerns that constituents have raised with us. But at least in this situation we have here in Portland, we feel pretty comfortable with what we're bringing forward.
Good. All right. Well, thanks again for coming. I'm sure this information will be very helpful, and look forward to seeing you again on HFO-TV.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks. Very good.
Thanks for watching HFO TV. To learn more about HFO, call or visit our website.